very basic concepts of it. But I do get this responsibility straight away with you. I am going to tell you what exactly is IELTS speaking or what exactly is speaking. Speech is a human vocal communication using language. Repeat. Speech is a human vocal communication using language. Now, if I ask you one thing, if speech is a human vocal communication using language, you might ask, is that it? Is all you have to say about speaking? Don't you have anything else to ponder upon, or don't you have anything else to say or tell me more about it? I might disagree or don't have a proper same mindset as you, because for me speaking is this much. Speaking is just a communication using language, but I will tell you why. There are two things underlined and highly defined, that is communication, and another one is language. If you look at it very closely, communication is the bridge which is formed between you and the listener. If you see, listener and the speaker have a connection between them. That bridge has to be strong, that bridge has to be firm. If there is no communication between them, then there is no transfer of thoughts, ideas or context over them. So this is the first thing you need to understand whenever you start talking and speaking about speaking. But there are many people, there are many students who think that English is a lavish, is a luxury. Right? They speak fast, they speak with high accent, they speak with high vocab. Understand, my students, unless a listener understands you, you are not a good speaker. This is very straight. IELTS also doesn't tell you to be complex. It tests you in different scenarios to make sure that you apply that speaking skill in that scenario properly. But if you deviate from that and think that yes, English, honing up English, speaking it a fast way, using a lot of jargons and complex words only makes you a better speaker, I totally disagree with that. Until unless you are communicable, until unless I can talk to you, until unless you can listen to me properly, there is no use of you going ahead and going out and talking to people and trying to develop and propagate your thoughts. And to do all these things, you need some medium. Right? To travel, you need a medium. The sound travels in a medium. Everything which is sounding, which goes from one point to another point, needs a medium. And this communication over speaking also requires a medium. That medium is language. Right. So basically this is not for English definition, this is not for English I'm giving you a definition. This is the basic clear-cut definition for speaking wherever possible. Whatever be the language, wherever you are speaking, this is the definition which is applicable always. Communication should be there. There should be a connection, there should be a bridge between you and the listener. There should be a bridge between speaker and the listener. First things first. Then, while forming the bridge, you should be able to communicate using the language which is understood by the listener. And here, when we are talking about English, here in this scenario, when we are talking about English, now understand this very, very carefully. You need to be very, very sure. You need to be very, very sure you follow all the rules and regulations and comply with each and every terms and conditions and facts of English while communicating, because English is not choosing you to speak. You are choosing English to be a medium. Now it's your responsibility to abide with all the rules and regulations. Now we have a certain people who ask, certain students who have a doubt, sir, is it necessary to be improper with grammar? Is it necessary to be proper with the pronunciations? Yes, my friends. Because you are actually going in the place, you are actually going in the field where you can be a part of a global community. Because English is a global language, it is not like just for a state or a country. It's a global language. If you want to be a part of it, you have to abide with a syntax. You have to comply with the syntax, because that only makes it global, nothing else. Right? If I say my name is Uday in this way, and it is being said by different ways in different countries, what does it we have in common then? Nothing. Then we can't say it's a global language. Try to get my point straight. If you don't abide with the syntax, if you don't abide with the rules and regulations of the language to communicate, your speech is not complete. Right? Any questions, any doubts still here? The background is going. I guess it's a disturbance in the network, my friend Pachu. So try to avoid it or else stream it later. But because it's too quiet here. Right. So any doubts, any questions till now? What is speaking, or what exactly, or you want to ponder upon more, or any kind of concerns, any kind of doubt? This is not the way. This is not the way. Just start the discussion over, and do not forget to comment on this video about whatever your concerns are, about whatever you feel like. Right? Because sharing is the knowledge. The knowledge much you share, it can propagate. It can go and come around with you, multiply. Don't forget that. So do share your knowledge, do let us know what exactly is in your head, is in your mind, according to this topic, according to whatever we have been teaching here in YouTube class. And also don't forget to subscribe this channel, because you might get all the updates about when the class will be scheduled in next. And do like this video and share this video so that we can crack it. Okay, fine. Let's move on to today's topic about the 5 tips which we were about to discuss today. Exciting tips. Already? Yes, Pachu, are you able to listen to me at least? Because I guess, is there a lot of disturbance or some disturbance there? What are the top tips of speaking? That's the topic today. Yes, so we are ready. So let's hit the tips. Yes, these are the top tips if you want to do it efficiently. And trust me with this. Trust me with this process and trust me with this pattern. These are the top very tips. If you follow it one by one and if you completely hold all the 5 tips and keep it in your finger point, you can attempt speaking in a very different next level. How can we use buying time in speaking? I'll tell you everything my side. Let's start with the tip because we have a time constraint. Speak the language. All remember your favorite cricket player. Say for example, who is your favorite cricket player person? And who are all watching the video, afterwards please do comment on the comment box who is your favorite cricket player, and I'll tell you what exactly they do. Right? I'll come back with you. Yes, Pachu, who's your favorite cricket player? It is all related to this topic. Quick, fast. Alright, I'm getting a reply from Pachu. So, if your favorite player is Virat, if your favorite player is Dhoni, remember their cricketing shots. Remember? Yes. Virat plays a very beautiful straight drive. Very beautiful score cut, off track. Whatever the shots which is played by the Virat, or whatever the shots which is played by Dhoni, say for example Dhoni plays a beautiful straight six, he hits it very straight, or he plays a beautiful helicopter shot, right? All remember that. What do you think how they have mastered that shot? Any guesses? Any kind of like no? This is the way. This is what they have been done. I'll tell you one or two scenarios. You might agree or disagree. I don't know. They might have watching a video. I don't think so. They might have been reading books about it. How to hit a helicopter shot? No. They might have been talking to their friends. No. They might have been going to coaching centers to learn about it. No. They had to do it to master it. Understand this. Dhoni is spending hours and hours in the nets practicing the helicopter shot to practice and master it. When he comes out in the field, when he plays it, it seems effortless. Behind that effortless shot, it was a lot of effort which he has already put in the net. To speak the language, to master the speaking, you all have to start not by watching a video, not by talking to your friends, not by discussing it further, not by getting it ahead and ahead. Don't do anything as such. Start speaking the language right now. Start it right now. Start speaking the language. That's more important than anything. The first step is because basically most of the students want to prepare for IELTS speaking, but they are not ready to speak up. If you're not ready to speak up, it will not happen to you. This is as simple as possible. As simple as I can wind it up. So go ahead and start speaking it. Speak wrong, speak right, doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, but start speaking it up. The trick is here, start speaking it and then correct it along the way. Do not hesitate, do not wait until you correct yourself and then start speaking. Start speaking it and correct it along the way. You will get it, you will reach that position, you will reach that point where you want to land. Think the language. Most of us everyone in India, I'm talking about, are not a native English speakers. Right? We might be studied in convent or KV or CBSE board or ICSE board. Doesn't matter. We are not a native English speaker. What we are inside is we are all the same human beings who think in our own mother tongue. If I wake you up in the night, what will be the first thing you will say? You will say exactly the things which you have learned as mother tongue. Right? You will be talking to yourself inside your heart. Think it in a very deep way. You will be talking to yourself inside your heart in your own mother tongue. You will not be saying, oh my God, this was a hectic day today. You will not be doing that. You will be saying, yaar kya din tha? आज क्या कितना बहुत मुश्किल हुआ यार, आज इतनी बारिश हो रही थी, मैं कैसे कर. You will be doing this inside your heart, inside your brain. There is no English language inside you. What am I trying to tell you is, there is nothing wrong in saying so that there can't be two default languages inside you. There is only one language default inside you, that is your mother tongue till now. If you want to improve your stats, yes, you can push it to two inside default languages. You can put English also inside you. You can start thinking in English also inside you. On that you can have the interpretation, like the conversation, the conversion of the language. If you think in Hindi or Tamil or Telugu, if you want to talk in English, the translation, conversion takes time. If you are already thinking in English, if you want to speak in English, that translation, that time efficiency all increases. Try to do this. Right? And I have a practice ground. Always have somebody with you, for you, to listen to you. Or if you don't have anybody, if you don't have anybody, you are staying alone, do a video call at your home. Talk to your mom, talk to your friends in English. Or talk to yourself in the mirror. Right. Next part. Always do not forget this step. Always listen to yourself. Because we are the first person to receive anything for us. If I am making a mistake, I will be the first person to know it. Right? Nobody else. Everybody else will be knowing after me. If it is going unseen by me, I am making a mistake in my approach. So if you listen to yourself while you speak, you can identify the mistakes. If you identify the mistakes, you can correct them well beforehand before you hit the examinations. You don't need anybody else to say that you are making a mistake. You know what is right. If you are an aspirant of IELTS, I believe you are very well versed in knowing what is right English and what is wrong English. If you are making such silly mistakes in grammar and pronunciations, at least these things you can correct by yourself. So listen to yourself, that is more important. Don't let others judge you. They will be doing it at a point. But before that, before itself, when you have a time in your hand to make it right, go ahead and make it right. Don't leave any stone unturned at your first step. The last point of this is imagine always, every time. Every time, whatever you do, whatever you take part in, whatever you go forward with, imagine every time. If I imagine today's class will be like this, that's why I can deliver it in a much better way. Because I know exactly what I need to do. I have practiced these points. I have known that this is the background of it. This is the actual meaning of these points. When I know this, only I can deliver it to you proper, excellent and extraordinary way that I want to. This is my efficiency. If I don't deliver it, I'll be, after this class I'll be like, you could have done better. You can explain that point in a better way. Why I can regret? Why to regret that? If you can imagine it well before. Imagine. If you want to go there, say for example, Patri Adava asked, how can I understand every question about speaking from examiner? Before that he had a buying time. Yes, how can you use these people speaking buying time? You have to be emotional with that. You have to imagine it. You have to make yourself practice more times. You have to imagine that situation well before you are there. Do it multiple times. And these tips will always help you to score a better batch in IELTS. Rather, it's a very short tip. It's a very short course and short class, I can say. Quick tips. So, stay tuned and we will be back by today itself. Yes, by today itself on 7 p.m. on writing tips. 5 important tips for writing IELTS. Yes, so don't miss today's class because today's class is again a quick tip for writing. So stay tuned. Until that, see you off, and I'm Uday Shankar, your educator, and don't forget to subscribe this channel, like this video, and whatever doubts you have, please comment on this below. By like that, I can easily communicate with you and solve your core problems after this live session also. So don't hesitate, don't sit back, because we have to do this. So let's crack it together. Right? Thank you so much for all joining here. Thank you, Pachu. And if you have any doubts pending, please post it on the comments. I'll surely reply all the back. And do not miss today's class on 7 p.m. about 5 tips on writing. Thank you all.